Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. We're going to talk about Doctor Who. Doctor Who turning young boys into criminals. Criminals who are filled with hate. We're going to talk about that. This ridiculous story. Have to give a hat tip to Martin for sending this over this morning. We're going to talk about the ratings with Doctor Who. They're actually up a little bit as Chris Chibnall continues to completely retcon Doctor Who with Flux. Doctor Who Flux. So we'll talk about that. I haven't watched it yet. I've heard what's going on with it, and I can't get on board with it. Sorry, I'm out. I'm way out. Now I'm just going to eat popcorn and watch the franchise burn. I don't even think Russell T Davies can save it at this point. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Over 243,000 subs. Thank you so much for the support. We do talk about Doctor Who, not as much as we used to. I have completely fallen out of love with this show, and I was a huge fan for a number of years. But I did not turn into a criminal. I just turned into a detractor. I actually was kind of sort of on board with Chibnall and Whittaker coming in, and after the first couple episodes of their run, I'm like, my God, this show is god-awful. It is edutaining and boring and really, really boring in some places, very ham-fisted, very political, and what really did it for me was the retcon, the Timeless Children, where they give a big F-U, middle finger, to fans of the franchise. Turned out that the Doctor is not actually a Time Lord. Apparently the Doctor is some other sort of thing from some other dimension now or something. That's complicated. We might talk a little bit about that, but first let's talk about the ratings. Doctor Who has been hemorrhaging viewers for the last couple of seasons now, and lost about 1 million viewers over the course of season 13. Now, it did creep up a little bit with episode 5. They got some back, but nowhere near what it was, of course, when Jodie Whittaker first started, when she took over the TARDIS. Like 10 or 11 million people tuned in. But, we're doing okay, I guess. But that's not really what we want to talk about. What we want to talk about is this ridiculous article that a British politician is blaming female Doctor Who for turning boys into criminals. Now, the point of this, I guess, is that boys don't have any heroes anymore because they keep gender swapping traditionally male characters. And to some degree, I do agree that, boys do need role models. They do need heroes, aspirational characters to look up to. And it seems like every time you turn around, there's another male hero character being, gender bent or belittled or something. Now, is that going to turn boys into criminals? No, I don't think so. But it gives young men fewer role models to look up to. In fact, culture in many ways has been teaching young boys that they are problematic, that they're privileged, and they need to just admit that they're the worst of humanity. Boys are the worst. Anyway, let's talk about this. Coming from the New York Post, politician blames female Doctor Who for turning boys into criminals, or vilified boys being robbed of role models. I do agree to some extent. That's the question one leading British politician posed to a room full of his colleagues at Westminster Hall during a recent debate to mark International Men's Day on November 25th, wherein a concerned Conservative Party MP Nick Fletcher blamed female replacements in fictional roles historically portrayed by men for their downfall. Well, I don't know about that, but yeah. He implicated Doctor Who star Jodie Whittaker, the first female actor to assume the traditionally male-led role in the long-running series, as well as much derided rumors that the new James Bond could be a woman following Daniel Craig's departure. Is there any wonder we're seeing so many young men committing crime? The MP said, apparently baffling others in the room. In recent years, we've seen Doctor Who, Ghostbusters, Luke Skywalker, The Equalizer, all replaced by women. Okay, I don't agree with that. Do I agree that young men are running out of positive role models? Yeah, absolutely. But I don't think they're turning to crime because of it. A viral clip of Fletcher's discussion has more than 6 million views on Twitter via Westminster reporter Adam Bainkoff. Everywhere, not least within the cultural sphere, there seems to be a call from a tiny yet very vocal minority that every male character or good role model must have a female replacement. It's actually not untrue. One only needs to look at the discussion surrounding who will play the next James Bond. Fletcher expanded in his theory. It's not just James Bond. In recent years, we've seen Doctor Who, Ghostbusters, Luke Skywalker, The Equalizer, all replaced by women. And men are left with the Craze and the Tommy Shelby from Peaky Blinders. Is there any wonder we're seeing so many young men committing crime? Blame Doctor Who. I mean, I know it's bad, but it's not that bad. But it's still bad. Citing morbid statistics that men are 3 times more likely to commit suicide than women, he also noted a creeping narrative that males have it easy, life is a breeze, and they have nothing to complain about. It's clear that life is tough for many men and young boys, and many of our boys in schools are far from privileged, he explained, adding that terms such as toxic masculinity have vilified men. Don't completely disagree with that. I think blaming Doctor Who, blaming Ghostbusters, blaming, The Last Jedi, even though I hate a lot of these movies and these shows and what they've done, I don't think people are committing crimes because of it. So the Labour Party chair reportedly sat up during Fletcher's speech, believing she had misheard the Tory leader. The issue is far more complex, she went on to say, and has nothing to do with who should be the next 007. Fans of the show were dubious of Fletcher's criticism, were eternally thankful to Jodie Whittaker for single-handedly ending the horrific female crime wave that preceded her casting as Doctor Who. Yeah, there was a murder committed, for sure. It was Doctor Who, but it wasn't just because of Jodie Whittaker, it's because of Chris Chibnall and his stupid-ass retcons. Fletcher attempted to clarify his controversial statement in a letter he shared on Twitter. My rather nuanced point that there are increasingly fewer positive male role models for young boys was almost immediately misconstrued. My point was, in fact, a straightforward one and in no way linked Doctor Who being a female to crime being committed by men. He later concluded, boys need positive male role models, and that is a point I will continue to reiterate and never apologize for making. So again, there was a murder committed, and it is the Doctor Who franchise, not because of Jodie Whittaker per se, but Chris Chibnall retconning the whole damn thing. We heard rumors about where they were going to go with this, that they were going to triple down on the timeless children, and my God, it turned out to be true, or mostly true. According to Screen Rant, Doctor Who Flux has embraced the multiverse, finally revealing the truth about the timeless child's origins. What does it mean for the Doctor? Spoilers ahead. Current Doctor Who showrunner Chris Chibnall is determined to rewrite the show's lore. He's done that through the Timeless Child retcon, revealing that the Doctor is not a Time Lord at all. Rather, she is the Timeless Child, a being discovered by an ancient Gallifreyan explorer who became the base genetic code for the entire Time Lord race. According to Doctor Who Season 12, Episode 10, the Timeless Child was discovered 1 billion years ago by the Gallifreyan explorer Tecteun. Her journeys brought her to a distant world where she found herself looking at a mysterious wormhole. And she took the child home. She murdered the child repeatedly to learn how to regenerate, and then she gave that technology to the Time Lords. Doctor Who Flux is the next step in the Timeless Child retcon. The 6-part story has seen the Doctor discover the Division, a secretive group she worked for in her forgotten past. In Episode 5, she confronted their leader, Tecteun herself. The ancient Gallifreyan finally revealed the Doctor's true origin. Apparently, there is indeed a multiverse in Doctor Who, and the Timeless Child has been transported through a wormhole from one universe to the next. Maybe the actual Doctor is in that other universe. Maybe this is all an alternate reality. Maybe the show actually ended with Peter Capaldi. Maybe Matt Smith actually died, that he was the final incarnation of the Doctor, and this is another Doctor from another multiverse. That would be exciting. None of this really happened. the Doctor comes from a completely different universe, one of which nothing is known. Doctor Who has long explored the idea of parallel timelines and alternate dimensions. They talk about that. Doctor Who's timeless child did not simply arrive in her current universe by accident. She was intentionally placed there. Chibnall is clearly continuing to build on his timeless child retcon. Doctor Who Season 12 revealed there was more to the Doctor's past than she had ever suspected. Yep, and of all the people to give the definitive origin of Doctor Who after nearly 60 years, Chris Chibnall is definitely not the one. Definitely not the one to be able to do that, I don't think. Very unqualified. And I hope to God Russell T Davies either retcons this shit or sidesteps it or something. I mean, something's going on that, he had to demand that he had complete creative control of this show once he takes over, beginning with next season. He said the Bad Wolf Productions is going to run everything, and the BBC really doesn't have much of a say in it. They're just going to market his show. So I hope to God he retcons this shit. And if there are multiverses out there, then fine. This Doctor is a multiverse incarnation of the Doctor, not the actual true Doctor. Simple enough, right? Gonna wrap it up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.